Hello darlings, welcome to my channel. How wonderful that you've decided to pop in and have a little bit of time with me today. Wherever you are in the world, welcome. If you're a new subscriber, welcome. Thank you so much for coming along and watching my channel. I've got lots of videos up there, so I'd really appreciate it if some of them get watched because I don't have very many that are watched. I talk about mental health, my week living here in country Ballarat, living life with my husband now that we're retired, and with our little puppy dog Lucy, and just general chit chat. Because I have mental health issues, my mind is usually all over the place, and sometimes we just have to concentrate on one thing and try to calm our own mind, don't we? And it's not always easy to do. So I have lots of things that help me, and that's what I want to talk about today. The things that help me calm my mind. So one of the first things that will calm my mind is Lucy. What is it about a fur baby? Fur babies are the best. They're unconditional love. Even if they might not be a perfect dog, you know, like Lucy is far from a perfect dog. She is barky, she's nervous, she's extremely Burke's dog, but is warming up to me slowly. Likes to dominate the neighbourhood and has totally her own personality, as you've seen, because I put shorts up. And I'm sure that most of my subscribers have come because of Lucy, because she is so cute. So, you know, fur babies are the best. And if you've got a fur baby, please leave me a comment. Let me know their name. I love animals. I've always had a fur baby. And from as far back as I can remember, I even had a penny turtle for a while. And when it died, I wore a black ribbon around my arm. I was so distraught at my penny turtle dying. Unbeknown to me, I probably starved it to death because I didn't know what to feed it, and I gave it bread and kept it in a tin. But then again, I was only 8 years old. All right, hop down, Lucy. There she goes, doing her own thing. If you've got a fur baby, consider yourself lucky. They are truly a blessing in every single way. They give us purpose to the day because we get up and we think, well, we've got to top up their water bowl, make sure they've got some bickies there if they get nibbly through the day. For us, we take Lucy to the park every single day. So that's the first thing we do when we wake up. And she reminds us constantly to go to that park while we're sitting there trying to have our morning coffee. So there's lots of things. Whenever I go shopping, Lucy's always in the car, unless it's over 30 degrees. I've got a sunroof, so I always open the sunroof. Another thing that helps me with my mental health is handwork. There's something about doing some knitting, mindless knitting sometimes, and just working on that without really thinking. At the moment, I'm knitting a corner-to-corner blanket, and it's just a pattern that I've sort of started off YouTube, where you start with 5 stitches and you increase along the way, and it's just on YouTube. I'll see if I can find the link for it, and if I'm clever enough to pop it on for you guys. Super easy to do. I've knitted 2 or 3 of these, and they're usually the project I do when I'm not really into concentrating on anything and just want to do some knitting, because to me it's therapeutic. And I have to say, there was something to be said for our beautiful people from the 1930s and 40s. All the ladies knitted. They made their socks and their kids' jumpers, and they crocheted, and they were so good with their hands. We could learn a lot from those people. There's Lucy being Lucy. So that's something I've always done, and I remember my grandmother knitting, but she didn't teach me to knit. It was actually my stepmother that taught me to knit, and she showed me how to make my very first red jumper. I don't know if I've got a photo of it somewhere, but oh golly, I was so proud of it. And garter stitch with a black trim through, and I was so proud of it. And it was just 4 squares. A square for the front, square for the back, square for each arm. Sew it up with one of those sort of necklines, a slit neckline. Super easy, but very, very rewarding to see what I created. So that's one thing that I do. We have had a super long summer. Started probably a good month late, and it has been consistently high temperatures. I'm very lucky. We've got air cooling, which is the whole house gets, you know, the central cooling system. And we've also got air conditioning. So, I mean, it doesn't really affect me. But I die for my garden. I look out at my plants and I'm thinking, oh my goodness. And I'm watering them morning and night because they need it. There's no moisture in the air. And for me, my garden is very therapeutic. I love my garden. It's the best thing ever. So therefore I have to look after it and put lots of care and time into it. Would you believe it's spitting? Starting to get some spits of rain. I'm sure I won't get very wet from it, so I'm not going to worry. But I have to say, it's been a super week this week. My cup is full. I have had my grandbabies over. I've got Kai, who is 13, and I'm getting Paige tomorrow, and I've had Bailey over to play, and I've seen Oscar and Emma, and we've been to the grandparents' day at the primary school, and it has been a full-on week. Just so busy. And I haven't known whether I'm coming or going or been or went. So I'm very pleased to sit down and have a chat with you and just get my whole thoughts together of the whole week. I'll put some shorts in, little photos in of the grandparents' day. It was so lovely to see all of the things that the children had made out of vegetables and flowers, and just so creative. Children just think outside the square, don't they? And I love that. I really love that. And just spending some quality time with them. Another thing that's lovely to do is to get yourself a magazine. Something you can leave on the coffee table, you can pick up, you can put down. And I found these beautiful magazine at our local newsagent, and it's called Daphne's Diary. And I actually think it's an English magazine. I can't get a subscription in Australia, but it's got so many beautiful things in it. I'll show you some pictures of it in the ends. But it is so beautiful. Lots of creative things you can do. It's written like a diary, and it is absolutely beautiful, and I love it. Absolutely love it. Look at that lovely card in there. This is the Christmas edition, but I think that the newsagent wasn't up to date because they come from overseas. Look at the little parcel things that you can use for Christmas. I might use those next year. But I find this book is just so beautiful to look at. So even because it's a Christmas one, it doesn't matter. Look at these pictures. It is so beautiful. And it's called Daphne's Diary. So I really love it. So have a look at the newsagent and see if there's a book there that inspires you or can help you, you know, open up different things that you would like to do. I've always loved doing creative things. I've made so many things through my life. I've made horses and owls and pillows and blankets and jumpers and cardigans and scarves and hats, and it just goes on and on and on. So that is a book that I find really lovely. And because it's got vintage stickers, I love anything vintage. If it's old, I love it. I just think of the history that goes into it, how many people have been there before me. I just go back in time when I enter an old building. I just love old architecture. So that's a good one that helps me with my mental health. And then another book that I get that I subscribe to every single month is Country Style. It's an Australian edition, and ever since my brother was in at one time with his house, I've loved this magazine. So I get it in the post and I look forward to it. I don't really do much decorating or anything from the book, But for me, there's something about the smell. It smells just beautiful, and the pictures are just gorgeous. And so while I have my very own way of decorating my home, and it's not really like that, I'm a bit of a glitzy, glamour, shiny girl, I just get something very calming out of this magazine. So that's another one that I find really helpful. So if you're at your local newsagents, have a look. And the thing that I do with books is I pass them on. I don't just keep them to sit all the time. Books are not cheap. Daphne's Diary I won't pass on, but the country style magazines I pass on to another lady that really loves them, and when she gets them, they're like new, and she gets to enjoy them as well. And I don't build up too many of them. So that's what I do with them. Is there a favourite magazine that you read? I just found this little piece in here, and I think it's really, really special. Mindfulness. You're probably familiar with that feeling of time slipping through your fingers. One way to be more conscious about time is to practice mindfulness. By keeping your attention in the here and now, you can experience each moment more fully. That's not to say that you can actually slow time down, but focusing on a really being in the moment can make it feel that way. I definitely try and do that. I agree with this. Your age is nothing more or less than the amount of time you have been alive for. It's been found that the older you are, the happier you feel, and the more carefree your childhood was, the higher the age you are likely to reach. Isn't that just beautiful? I struggle with my mental health sometimes to leave the house. I have a list. Traffic. I schedule special days of the week that I go out and do groceries and things that we have to do. I do it all while we're out so I can have a few days at home. I designate a rest day a week so that I'm not doing anything else, just looking after myself, because I find I need that. So yes, I hope those three things will help you, and I hope that I haven't digressed too much off the subject, because it's very hard for me to keep my mind on one thing. It's just the way it is for me. So anyway, darlings, I'll sign off now, and I'll say I hope that you have a lovely week wherever you are in the world. I hope you're healthy, and I hope you're happy, and I hope you're being kind, because kindness to me is everything. If everybody was kind, wouldn't it be a lovelier world to live in? I always try to be kind to people. Oh, and I've had some comments about the darling. I actually had to delete some. But the thing is, sweethearts, that's me. I am a darling, sweetheart, honey bun girl. It's just how I've always been. And I can't help it. Hello darling is my language. So I'm sorry if it does offend you. I don't mean to offend you. But like I've said, on this channel, I could only ever be me. And that's the thing. We can only ever be ourselves. So, like I said, wherever you are in the world, darlings, have a beautiful day. And God bless. And lots of love from beautiful Ballarat. Bye for now. How was that one, Lucy? Thank you for your help. You were very good. You didn't go and make me chase the ball. I didn't have to stop 3 or 4 times. Thank you so much. Mummy's water. Mummy's soda water.